Hey there, my name is Justin Belanger. I'm the host of the High Button Podcast. I just want to remind you before this episode starts that this episode is brought to you by CryptoVantage. If you head to the description tab at the bottom there, you will see the CryptoVantage link. Click on that, fill out the white paper at the bottom of the page. CryptoVantage will send you a free information package that will allow you to be just a little bit more educated on cryptocurrency. And why wouldn't you want that? It's free, right? The professional sporting world is slowly starting to dabble in cryptocurrency. Athletes are getting paid in it. Professional organizations are allowing their fans to purchase tickets using it. It's crazy. Let's get ahead. Let's take advantage of this cryptocurrency, okay? Remember, fill out the white paper at the bottom of the sheet. The link is in the description tab, all right? CryptoVantage, High Button Sports. Now, let's start the episode. Boom, just like that, Jacob, we're going.
That's right. Happy to be here. Big fan of the pod.
When did you get to town?
I got to town, would have been Sunday around 3.
What's today? Wednesday?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, a
you've been
couple
here.
days.
You're a fan of the podcast?
Yeah. I listened to Alex's, and then there was another one, too, that I listened to just because he was telling me kind of what it was all about. And it was one with the Ottawa Senators. I forget.
Drake Batherson.
Yeah. It was that one. Yeah, I listened to a little bit of that, and then the two that Alex did. So.
No way, man.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
What's your first impression of Halifax so far? Have you been here before?
No, this is my first time out east. Yeah,
Sick.
I haven't been anywhere over here really. So, it was cool. Even just flying in and being able to see. Actually, the guy that sat beside me on the plane.
Yeah.
He was a guy that sailed around here for years, so it was a little bit of a tour guide on the way in. He was
Love it.
Yeah, he was pointing stuff out to me and stuff. So. Yeah, it was cool. It's been a cool experience so far.
Whenever you get a guy like that on a plane that's from here and he's lived here his whole life, I bet he was just chatting your ear up the whole time.
Oh yeah, he didn't stop talking about it.
Yeah.
He was like, and you could just see in his eyes, he's like so excited to be back. Right? I don't know how long it had been for him, but he was just like every little island. It was just like he was nudging me and pointing. Right, so which was cool. Right, adds experience.
So where are you from? I know you're from Ontario.
Yeah. Owen Sound. It's like a few hours north of Toronto, but I live like on a peninsula, so I'm surrounded by water too. So,
Okay, nice.
Yeah, it's nice.
They have a really good junior hockey team. Owen Sound. What's the name of their?
Yeah, the Attack.
The Attack.
Yeah. Good hockey team. They this was a while ago, but they won the Memorial Cup there in 2012 or 11. I think it was 11. Yeah.
Wow.
So good hockey team. Bobby Ryan, a couple other big names came out. Nick Suzuki, Montreal guy. Yeah. So. Yeah, good squad there.
Yeah, you always hear that organization come up in a boat whenever it's the Memorial Cup town. It's like Owen Sound's up there. They got a good organization going.
That's right.
What's the lacrosse community like in Owen Sound?
It's good. It's always been good. Like back even, when my uncles were playing, even when they were young, they were winning all kinds of Canadian championships and stuff. And now it's like our junior B is kind of on the uprise again. There's some good local talent that's, starting to come. For a little bit there, it was, we were middle of the pack or below average team in the league, but it's getting there. And we just got that major team too, that major series lacrosse team. So I guess senior A.
Is it field?
No, so the senior A league, the Six Nations Chiefs, so it's pretty much like all the NLL guys will come back, and in the summer they play in this league.
Okay.
So there was a team in Brampton, they just moved to Owen Sound, so we have a senior A team and a senior B team in Owen Sound now, which is pretty big.
There's so many leagues out there in Ontario.
Oh, it's crazy. There's so many players. Like they have senior C, they have junior C, like you know what I mean. And some of these leagues have like 25 teams, and then there's a whole other league has another 10. Like it's crazy. A lot of lacrosse players.
So you guys have like tryouts and stuff like that. Eh?
Oh yeah. Like there's like in some centers, like in minor, like I remember we were smaller center. We'd go in B, right? Sometimes we go in like BC tournaments. You'd go to like a BC tournament, there'd be a C team, and they'd be like the third team. Like these guys got cut from 2 teams to be on this team. You know what I mean? Just because they're playing in like Oakville, Toronto, Burlington, Hamilton, all these places that are like, there's so many people that, they could easily put together 3-4 teams, right? They'll have like 100 kids to tryouts.
It sounds like the hockey community around here.
Yeah.
Like there's just so many kids, so many teams,
just
so
like
many
the
leagues.
AAA, double A, single, exact same thing, right?
Hey, what did Pacer tell you about the lacrosse community here in Nova Scotia? What does he say about it?
So he was saying like it's similar to where I'm from. Every year there's there'll be kids that there'll be 14, 15, and they'll just be starting out, right? And we have that a little bit in Owen Sound too, right? You know, buddies that played hockey with these guys. You know, lacrosse guys go off for the summer. The hockey guys are like, well, you know what, I'll go and spend the summer with these guys, and they try it out, right?
Yeah.
It seemed like, you know, there was kids that were, you know, usually in Ontario, you see a lot of guys that are like, you know, they've been playing since they were 4, right? Where here it's like, you know, kind of kids starting a little bit later and then kind of fall in love with it a little later, where like at home, like I knew I wanted to play in the NLL since I was like literally like 3 or 4.
No way.
Yeah. Like I remember I think I was like 3 or 4. I was playing paperweight. We call it paperweight at home.
What's paperweight?
Just the youngest age group you can play for lacrosse. So
like
it's pretty much
Timbits.
just like, Timbits.
Okay,
you sign up, you get to go out and play, right?
Yeah.
And I remember Bob Watson. He was the goalie for the Toronto Rock.
I know Bob Watson.
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
on more on the floor.
Oh, yeah. So he came to a camp, this little town called Fergus near where I'm from. He came and there was a camp, and after camp you got to shoot on Bob Watson. I think I was 3 or 4. I remember I scored on him the whole way home. I was like grinning in the car, like the happiest guy ever, right? It was like a dream come true. And then I look back at like pictures like when I got older, and you know, this guy's like lifting his stick up and has his legs spread out, like just letting goals in, right? Every kid's scoring on this guy. Like I'm thinking like, oh, I just scored on an NLL goalie, right? Years later, I'm like, oh, this kid was letting anybody score, right?
Dude, that's smart on his part.
Oh, yeah. Like, yeah, it was awesome, right? He's making kids' dreams come true. But I'm thinking, you know, I'm going to be the next superstar here,
That's
right?
sick.
But, yeah, I fell in love with it then. And, ever since, I haven't looked back. It's all I really think about, right? So.
Man, 3 or 4 years old. So who introduced the game of lacrosse to you?
So my family's a big lacrosse family in Owen Sound. I had an uncle that played in NLL. My other uncles, they were like, you know, coaches coaching like President Cup winning teams, and my uncle's got a Man Cup. It was just, even my dad played at a young age, and then he kind of went in another direction. He liked music and stuff. So,
Yeah.
but even him, like he still knew a lot about lacrosse, just being around those guys for all these years, his
Yeah.
brothers. So, it was kind of like I was just, you know, born right into it, which was awesome. I got to, you know, fall in love at a young age. So.
I just want to remind that's awesome, but I just want to remind all of our listeners right now that the studio in the house, we're getting our chimney worked on right to the right, and there's going to be some drilling and maybe some thumping in the back. So if you hear a drill every now and then, it's just the chimney being worked on. So I apologize to anyone that's annoyed by that. But no, that's great. Like to be introduced at the game or 3 or 4. We always talk about that around here. It was, I was saying like 13, 14, maybe a bit younger. Mm-hmm. But we always talk about, oh man, if we were introduced to the game at such a younger age, who knows where we would have been? Who knows what the opportunities could have been in front of us?
Exactly.
And we always wish we had that. And
right.
Whenever we went away to, like I was on a couple provincial teams where we got to play against Ontario, BC, the McNabb team.
Yep.
Here's how essentially how it goes for us. Like we play against guys around here, and the competitive nature, don't get me wrong, it's high, but there's not enough guys here to have almost like a middle pack of a group. It's like you're either really good or you're just not so good. So if you're really good, your confidence is high, your ego's a little high, you're
right.
doing really well. But when you go away to these other tournaments and you play against teams from Ontario, BC, and your ego, it's an ego check, and you're like, whoa, okay, these kids have been playing since 3, like you just said.
Right.
And I remember we went up to Burnaby, BC one year, and I think it was like a Pee-wee tournament. And I remember having conversations with guys from Ontario and BC, and they were telling me their story about how they got introduced to the game of lacrosse and how long they've been playing it for, and all these stories they've had. And I've only been playing the game for like 3-4 years. I just thought it was an unbelievable eye-opener for the athletic world to me, because it was just hockey.
Right.
And just to see that there was another sport out there in Canada that people were obsessed with, it was such a cool moment for me at the age of like 13, 14.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. And like you said it, like obsessed with it, you know.
Oh, obsessed.
It's like there's, you know, you had some kids that they were like, okay, you know, they were set on the OHL, right? And they would just play hockey, and they'd play the summer hockey. But you'd have a lot of kids that were, you know, guys that were on the way to the OHL, but, you know, summer hit, and they're like, no, I'm going to go try to win a provincial championship with all my boys, right? Because I take this just as serious as I do the hockey, right? And, you know, I think if you look, like, at a lot of guys, I can think back, like, the team I played, the Team Ontario team I played with, like, looking back at the guys on our team that were, like, good hockey players, like, there's a handful that are in the NHL right now, right? Yeah. And like Gretzky said it, and you know, there's other guys in the NHL that have said it. Like lacrosse is a great sport to go and play in the summer and just, you know, put hockey aside for a second, and the lacrosse works on your hand, eye, and just other things, your conditioning, right? So like it's I think it's good to put the hockey stick away and pick up a lacrosse stick, right? And like when I played on Team Ontario, we had guys like Cal Foote, like he's playing for Tampa now in the NHL, and another guy in the Tampa organization, Boris Kachuk. I think he played for the World Juniors there a couple years ago for Canada. So yeah, just guys like that they were some of the best lacrosse players in Ontario. Would have went to the NLL eventually, right? Had they went through Junior A and everything, but they just made the OHL and went that direction in the NHL. So there's lots of great hockey players in Ontario that are lacrosse players too. Right?
I don't know. Something correlates between being a hockey player and a lacrosse player. The game came so natural to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it was the hand-eye coordination. I don't know if it was my cardiovascular. I don't know what it was, but as soon as I picked the stick up, it just felt natural.
Yeah.
And it's not like it's a similar sport to hockey. It's not like a stick's up here and you got a stick down here for hockey. It's a little different, but there's something about it that just correlates so well.
Yeah, just being in that rink too makes you feel like you're at home, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And the card, like I remember, like when I first started, don't get me wrong, I did well. But the thing that allowed me to do well was just I think cardio. I could outrun anyone.
Right.
I was such a skinny. I'm still skinny, but I could run, and I wasn't afraid to get hit because in hockey you're getting hit.
Right.
And that kind of element was there to me, and I don't know, shooting the ball came natural. It's still a sport I love trying to figure out. Even like the string. I'm looking at my sticks right now. I'm still trying to figure it's just there's something about it. Like I haven't played in 2 years, and yesterday when I got early to the camp and I was out there playing around, just man,
I know.
It has that hold on me. I love it.
Yeah. No, I know, and it's like it's such a unique sport in the way that it's like everything is so like creative and about the sport, and just like even looking at the stick, like you buy a hockey stick, over time the stick changes as far as the weight of it and your flexes and all these little different technology things that they fix. But with a lacrosse stick, it's like it can change so easily just based on a shooting string coming loose, right? And it's like that's what's so weird about it. It's just like if your hockey stick isn't shooting well, it's not really an excuse, right? Where if you have a lacrosse stick, if it hooks or whatever, like at the camp yesterday, I took out a few shooting strings in kids' sticks, right? One way that you can make a stick shoot higher, it's usually hitting off the bottom shooting string. I take it out, and like just like that, like it was almost a whole different player, right? Where like, the kid here might not have somebody that can be like, hey, that stick hooks. If we can make it shoot high, and then you compromise for it shooting high, you won't have a pass hit your friend's feet anymore, right? So, and I did that to a few players, and by the end of it, I'm like, that's one thing I should maybe be looking for when I'm out here is, let's fix some of these sticks. If we could have everybody, using a stick that shoots high and they get used to it, I think that's great for the game. I know in Owen Sound, there was a few coaches that at the start of the year, they would make their team and they would take everybody's sticks on the team and they would go home and get every stick strung the exact same way, small pocket, 4 shooting strings, and it was like crazy. There was kids that would, there was kids that would end up like, not being able to make a pass by the end of the year. Like it was just automatic. And there you go, right there. Look what you got.
This stick I've had since like Pee-wee.
Yeah.
It just obviously like the blue strings have been changed every now and then, but look how shallow that is. You got the 4 strings. It shoots high, but I've used it for such a long time. It shoots low. I know how to it shoots where I want it to go.
Where you want it,
But I can't when I first started, I had that deep pocket, and I just had no aim, no control, nothing.
Exactly.
The shallow pocket, I don't even cradle with this. It's just like a little.
Yeah, it's just rock it.
Right? I don't even really. It's just like I love the shallow. I love the quick stick with it. I love to be able to get the ball out quickly.
Mm-hmm.
I just love a shallow pocket. And people think I'm crazy using it. But
no, and the ball comes out so much quicker. You can make a pass, you see a lot of these plays where you're in tight and you're just making a little pass.
Yeah.
With that big pocket, you can't make these little 3-foot passes when a guy's, getting in the middle, right? So I try to encourage as many players as I can. Like even there's guys in Owen Sound that are great players, and we have a kid, unbelievable player in Owen Sound. He's 14. he goes down to the city, and he's like one of the best players. I think he's probably one of the best players in Canada.
Wow, what's his name?
And his name's Jonah Kerr.
Look out, Jonah Kerr.
And he's legit. And he's a guy that he was using a deeper pocket, and he likes being like real creative with his stick, you know what I mean? And he likes being able to, you know, make fun moves, right? And I'm like, you know, that's awesome for right now. It's fun making, you know, kids look silly with these moves, but I'm like, I gave him a stick there last week, and it was what we talked about, small pocket, 4 shooters, and I'm like, you know, you're using this, and I gave him, and he's using it, and, you know, it's something that I think that little change in him using that is, you know, going to help him get to the junior A level and be like elite, because if he stays with that stick, you know, I've seen great players that just because of their stick and the pocket and just like falling in love with this, you know, having this like unbelievable control with the big pocket has just ruined them really, right? So yeah, he's an unbelievable kid. Keep an eye on him, you know. I think he's going to be running junior A in about 2 years. So
like junior A in Ontario, like that's big dog.
Oh yeah.
See, like here, don't get me wrong, it's still like I don't know. Do we have? Yeah, we have junior A here. I don't even know if it's junior A. I think it's just junior. I don't think we have junior B. It's just junior.
Right. Yeah, I think it's like junior A here in the province, but then they go compete in the junior B national championship.
Yes, that's what it is.
So it's like, okay, this is the first team.
That's
this
what
is
it
the
is.
first junior A, like it's the first team, you know, these are all the guys that made it here, but when you go and play, because like it just makes more sense for them. And don't get me wrong, when they go and play those junior B teams in Ontario, like there's years where the junior B champions of the country would beat the junior A champions.
Yeah, but Draper was telling me that.
Yeah. The year there was like, I think it was like 4 or 5 years where the Six Nations Rebels were just like every year winning the Founders Cup, and there was years where they were winning it and they had such a strong team. It's like, you know, I think they would beat, you know, the team that won the Minto this year. Maybe 2 or 3 years in a row they would at least compete at the Minto, right? So yeah, it's crazy, and that's just homegrown talent that they had. That those are just, you know, a core group of guys that want to stick together and play together. And you know, when you play together, since you're, you know, 4 and 5 all the way up till junior, you're playing with cousins and brothers. You know, that's a tough team to beat, right? So, yeah. But
there's something about a lacrosse chemistry that's different than at least any other sport I've played. I've had line mates that I've had chemistry with playing hockey, but having chemistry with a guy in lacrosse, one of the coolest things. Just knowing when you're about to do a pick and roll, you don't even have to look where the ball's coming from. You just know where it's coming from. You don't even have to call for it. Just as soon as it's on the roll, it's in your stick.
Right.
And you don't even have to like call for it. It's just an eye. Like if you're on the crease and you're popping up and you know the guy at the point has the ball and you know you're about to roll to the middle and you just there's something so just
I know. Yeah.
Oh, it's the best feeling in the world,
No
Mark.
kidding.
Mark, I'll explain to you later. But like it's just it's just something that's so yeah, I just love it. And I love that you're talking about the shallow pocket. I never really thought of that. Like if you have a deep pocket, yeah, you can be creative, but you can't get rid of the ball as quickly. I never really want to have. I do want to have the ball when I'm playing lacrosse, but like I said, when I first started, I loved playing off the ball and getting away from someone and just getting that 2-foot step on a guy.
Yeah.
Just so the guy I have chemistry with knows I'm coming around the net really quickly. Give me the ball,
Right.
I just love that feeling.
Yeah. I'm the same sort of player. Like I like having the ball. It all depends on the team you're playing for, right? You got to take a different role on different teams. But in the NLL, in the games I was playing, and you know, I didn't have the ball a whole lot, but I'm a shooter. I like to shoot the ball from the outside, and I just find ways to set myself up to get time and space from the outside. So a lot of time you're doing that without the ball, right? So you know, stay busy inside, and you know, once you got guys busy in there, pop out, get a swing pass, right? That's kind of my game. So yeah, I'm the same way. It's fun playing without the ball, and you know, letting the passers and the creative guys really work, and then you know, you get the fun part, letting her fly.
What's Colorado like? I asked Nathan McKinnon this question. He had a good answer. He said he was great, loved the mountains.
Yeah.
Well, what's your impression of it?
I didn't get to, so I haven't really gotten the full mountain, you know, experience yet. I usually just go there. You're in the city of Denver. You know, you do your practice on the Friday. You wake up, you have lunch, you go play, and then it's just, you know, your nightlife after, right? Yeah. Which is awesome. But as far as like the city of Denver, it's unbelievable. It's such like a chill town. It's so clean too, but it's like you know, these people traveling all over for, you know, ski and snowboarding, right? These guys are or it's like you don't see fights outside these bars. You know what I mean? Like we'd go out and it's just like everybody, have a good time and then head her home, right? So you go to other places and it's just like you're coming out expecting for a riot. Like you go to Buffalo or something, it's like everybody's so jacked up. It's like you come out of the bar, and they're open till 4 a.m. So that's just a disaster. So you come out of that place and it's just like somebody's looking to throw one at you, right? So boy, we're there. It's just like probably has to do with a lot of people smoking weed too, right? Everybody's all chilled out. They're going home to take their pizza home and call it a night, right? So, but no, it's fun. It's a great city. I love it.
I don't know if you know this, but there's a lot of Maritimers that are drafted to the Colorado Avalanche organization, like probably 7.
Yeah.
So we're planning, hopefully this year. Well, yeah, I guess the borders are open if you're double vaxxed. You can go.
Yep.
Excuse me. So we're trying to plan a trip to Denver, hopefully sometime this year. When does your season start? December 3rd is the home opener?
Yeah, so I'm there the first week of November, but I'm living out there.
You're living in Denver?
Yeah, I'm living out there. Me and my girlfriend are going out there.
Sick.
So we'll be there for the 5 months or whatever it is for the season. So, yeah, you'll have to let me know if you're out there.
100%.
Yeah.
So, like, now that we know you, that's a connection. Like, we'll go to a lacrosse game. We're going to go to a hockey game, try to get a football game in.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
But we're really looking forward to getting out there and doing some traveling this year.
Nice.
Where'd you live most? Did you live in Owen Sound most of this year?
Yeah, so I lived in Owen Sound for the season, and I was just flying out. And then this summer, I was just back home too.
Dude, you must be itching to play some lacrosse.
Yeah, well, it was nice. I got to play. I've been playing in that major league for Owen Sound, like that senior team.
Yeah.
But we only had an 8-game season. I played 4 games. We played last night though. The boys won. I got to shout out my buddy Mike Fegan. He's a guy like this guy. So he plays on the team with us, but this guy, this is like a crazy story. So he just signed an NLL contract, in Fort Worth. So this was a guy that's like, he's one of our best buddies. He's been one of our best buddies for years. Yeah. He's a beauty. And he was like, he played minor lacrosse with us and stuff. And he was a guy that was like, there was like, you had your few guys that were your elite guys, and then, middle of pack, and then you had guys that were just there more or less because it was like, these are my hockey buddies, right? Yeah. And he was a good player, but he was there for the summer with the boys, you know what I mean? And he loved that, and we'd always bug him and stuff because me and one of my good buddies, Jordan Cascanet, we'd always, pick on him because he was always smaller than us and younger, but he's like 6'4", 230 now. Like this guy's he's probably one of the bigger. He'll be one of the bigger guys in the NLL, right? And he just grew like crazy. He was playing junior B. They had him playing defense. They pulled him up for offense for a game. Went and scored 8 goals out of nowhere. Like he went and had an 8-goal game in junior B, and then like a year later he's playing like at the Minto Cup for junior A, and now he's got an NLL contract. Like he was a guy that was just like, this guy's playing lacrosse and hanging out with the guys just more or less for the summer. Out of nowhere, he just like kind of takes over, and he's gonna end up being one of the best players to come out of Owen Sound. Like he's gonna be in the NLL this year.
Dude, some guys just have it.
It's crazy
without even knowing it.
And he like figured out how to use his size, and he like I don't know if he watched film, or he had great coaching in Orangeville, but like just out of nowhere, he just ended up becoming this player, and he's got this contract, knows how to use his size, like, and he's smart, and he's got filthy hands. Like he had a goal last night, and he catches the ball inside, and I think this was on Nick Rose too, the goalie for the Toronto Rock.
Yeah.
He just fakes far side, wrapped it right around him, top corner. He's playing against NLL defense here, and he's already doing so well. Like he scores like 2 goals a night in this league, right? And it's just out of nowhere. But yeah, I had to shout him out because it's like, It's crazy story how he ended up getting there.
Dude, I love those stories. The guys that like just didn't intend on making it, but just kind of somehow.
Like I was talking to him last night. I was like, because we went to a Rock game there like years ago. Like we were kids, and I remember just being at the game, and it was kind of like he was kind of like saying like, oh, yeah, can't you wait till you're here one day? Like just saying it to me, like because that was always everybody knew that was my main focus, my dream. And he's like, can't you wait to be here? And I talked about it last night. I was like, man, when we went and watched the Rock game, like, 10 years ago or whatever it was, did you ever think you'd be scoring on the Rock's starting goalie, right? Last night he scores on him. We were just talking. He's like, man, I had no clue that I'd ever be in the same arena playing these guys, right? And now he's scoring on them, and he's going to be playing in front of, 15,000 people this year once he makes this squad, right? So It's crazy. It's a crazy story, but he didn't see it coming. He's pretty much got blindsided, right? But it's awesome.
He's like pissed. He's like, man, I gotta go play in the NLL now. I didn't
Yeah.
plan on this happening,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
whatever.
And he's got like a sweet job. He's an electrician at like a nuclear power plant. Like, so he's got a sweet job. So like now he's just got like awesome job. And he's just gonna go.
He's got a sick side hustle.
He's just gonna
playing
go and
NLL.
side hustle, have some fun on weekends all over North America, right?
There's something about the NLL that I love about that element of it. How it is a side hustle. Like, don't get me wrong, it's everyone's passion. They want to do it for a living, but like
Yeah.
they've balanced regular life with it. It's a cool league in that sense.
Oh yeah, you'll have like cops, plumbers, construction workers, everything, right?
Yeah.
Teachers, and and then they leave work early on a Friday and they go and they're somewhat famous for a night, right? It's crazy.
But I think that's the coolest, most underrated thing ever.
Yeah, like you have guys that are they go back in their hometown and they're another one of the guys, but then they go somewhere and there's people buying their jerseys. Like, it's such a weird dynamic, right? It's cool.
It's such a cool thing. It's a part-time celebrity athletic professional sports job.
Yeah,
like,
then Monday it goes away.
Yeah, but it's always like you get to look forward to something.
Yeah,
How many months out of the year does the season run?
I think it's like, well, if you would make the playoffs, I think it's like somewhere from like you'd start training camp in November. I think you're ending somewhere like in April, maybe.
Man,
yeah. So
just what a life.
Yeah,
just a fun life.
Yeah.
And I couldn't believe what was the, I guess, rumor mill in the NLL about the Thunderbirds, because we had great attendance when that one year they were here. The city was buzzing. They had a good record. What was the overall like assumption of the team? Is that the word I'm looking for? The overall thoughts on the team.
I don't know. I think it's great. It's obviously great for the minor programs. Like, you bring an NLL team somewhere. Like we did at the camp yesterday. I noticed like a couple kids having stickers on their helmets and stuff. I don't know if there was a camp that they did here. I think they might have done.
They've done a couple.
Yeah, and then I seen there was one kid. He had a head that was Cody Jameson's head signed by him and stuff like that. So just having pros over here playing and these kids to be able to go and watch them and see them in the community when they are here is great, right? It gives kids just more players and guys to be role models and look up to and stuff, right?
Did you get to come here and play?
No, I didn't. I think we were supposed to, or I think we might have been coming out here. I forget. I know the one that really hurt me is when I was getting in and playing. It was right around the time we were going to Toronto, and COVID hit the week before we were supposed to play the Toronto game. My sister had like 3 fan buses from Toronto setting up. Like, I bet you there had to have been over 500 people from Owen Sound going. Like, it was crazy so I would have been playing that game because I was in the lineup by then, playing well, and I was playing against my old teacher from high school, Adam Jones. So like playing
school teacher,
high school teacher. So when I was in grade 12, I TA'd his gym class. So he was teaching grade 9 gym, and I was a teacher assistant in it, and we would set kids up on the field playing whatever, and there was times where we'd go grab our sticks and we'd be playing and stuff like that, and then years later I played him in an exhibition game in Oakville, but we were supposed to play each other, and it was supposed to be a big thing, teacher versus student. It would have been awesome. Me and my dad were laughing. They're like, what if you just drop the gloves with Jonesy at center and it's just you're scrapping your teacher? Could you imagine?
That's amazing.
Yeah. But no, he's a beauty. He was a big mentor for me, and he was a guy that for guys and sound like myself, he was one of the guys that paved the way, and it's awesome. He got drafted to Colorado and played there too, so he's a guy that I can ask questions about legit anything, contracts and
no way.
The city. Yeah, so he's awesome. He's a great teacher, great mentor, but awesome guy.
How far is Owen Sound from Toronto?
It's about 2.5.
So how often did you drive when you were a kid to Toronto to watch the Rock play?
We'd go quite a bit. Like, I'd say, we'd probably watch like 3 games a year, I'd say. Yeah. My dad's a shift worker, so he'd have like 7 days off, like once a month. Yeah. That's usually when we'd go, right? So yeah, we go to a couple games. Like, usually we go down with other families and stuff and make a trip of it, get a hotel room and stay over and stuff.
Oh,
so,
no way.
Yeah, so it was cool. Yeah, and it seemed like that guy Mike, he was always one of the ones that, it was like him and his dad would always just come with us, right? They never thought that, he'd be suiting up, for a team in the NLL one day. It's a crazy story, but it's awesome.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Those trips must have meant the world to you, going to the big city,
Oh yeah.
watching NLL.
Oh yeah.
And at the time, you said you knew you wanted to be in the NLL.
Oh yeah, I knew. I remember just standing like, I would, between the sections, when you come out arenas and it's just like it opens right up. I remember just standing there. I'd be there like an hour and a half before the game. Players wouldn't even be on the floor yet. I'm just standing there like, damn, I got to play here, right? That's all I would think about. Like, I would go to a Rock game. I'd come home the next night. It'd be like a Monday. I'd go to practice. I'd come home. My dad set up a floodlight in my backyard, and leaning up against the fence would be an old trampoline that we had. Then I had like tarps coming off the side of it. It was my shooting spot, right? So I'd set up this floodlight, and there was times where, my dad gets up for work at like 5:30, 6 o'clock. He goes in for 7, works a 12-hour shift, and there was times where the floodlight would still be on. I'd be shooting in the morning, like 13, 14, staying up all night shooting. I was like obsessed. I was obsessed, man. I was like, and it was like for a while when I was young playing junior, I'd come home from a away game and we'd the arena guy would just let me stay longer and shoot, and looking up the clock, I'm like, oh, I better call my dad. He's not going to be up to come give me a ride. I'm still shooting after we just got home from a away game. You know what I mean? But yeah, the floodlights one that my mom always brings up. She's like, oh, I'll make this team or do this, and she'd be like, oh, and that's why, right? It is the floodlight, and we still have it too. I haven't turned it on in a while. A little bit older, I shoot in the middle of the day and I go to bed. I'm not staying up all night. I'm still obsessed with it, but that was extreme. I loved it so much that I would just shoot all night.
They know you're shooting a lot when the electrical bill's through the roof.
Yeah.
Like, oh, bill's high, Jake's shooting a lot.
Yeah, exactly. But no, they're like, my parents are awesome. They're so supportive, but I had the best support, at home, because I didn't have like I think a lot of kids get buried just because there's so much pressure, and you know what I mean? Like, it seems like it's like the hockey dad, right? You put so much pressure on this kid, you think he's the best ever, and it's just like so much weight. Where my dad, like, we'd laugh about stuff during the game, like, or after the game, we'd laugh about something that happened, and he'd give me a tip here and there, but it wasn't like he was trying to make me to be this great player. He just kind of guided me along the way.
That's the best. Awesome. You said your uncles played. Did your dad play?
He just played when he was young.
Okay.
Yeah. He had like I forget what it's called. He had some sort of nerve damage in his back, so that's kind of why he stopped playing. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But he was like he was a big rock star. He had a band and stuff like that. He had the long hair, so like he was a lacrosse guy for a bit, and then he fell in love with the music, and yeah. So he did that, and then my mom she made him give it up and have kids. So he said it was tough to swallow at the start, but he said it was the best thing he ever did.
Man, I feel before every guy gets married, it's like the woman, like my dad, who's a cigarette smoker, and my mom was like, "I'll marry you, but you got to quit smoking."
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
Like the next day,
yeah.
It's like,
all right,
thing, yeah, it's all right, I guess so.
Yeah,
it's
no
like
choice.
Yeah.
Probably the best thing you ever did. Too.
Did you just get married? I was stalking you.
No,
did you
no.
Just propose?
No, just a promise ring.
My bad.
No,
my bad.
Yeah, no.
My bad.
Yeah, no, not yet. But yeah, my girlfriend's, she's unbelievable though.
Did she make you quit anything? Any vice?
No, I don't think I had to quit nothing. She's my buddies love her. Like she always likes having a good time. She'll come out with us to the bar and stuff like that, have drinks. She can hang out with the boys. She's
that's the best.
One of those girls. Yeah, she played hockey and stuff growing up, so she'd always play on the boys team too. She's a good hockey player. So she's awesome though.
Is she going to Denver with you?
Yeah, she's coming.
Nice.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. We actually just bought a dog. So
what kind?
Australian Shepherd.
Can't picture it, but
yeah,
it sounds
sick. They have like lots of color in their face, and
I gotta look it up.
Yeah, look them up. Beautiful dog. We named him Rip.
Rip?
Rip, yeah.
Australian Shepherd. Oh, what a good looking dog.
Yeah, right.
Rip?
Yeah, Rip.
How big is it gonna get?
I don't know. I'm not sure. He's got big paws, so he's probably gonna be a bigger dog. But
what a nice looking dog.
This week that I'm gone, he's probably gonna grow like crazy. I'll show you a picture of him. I got one.
Let me see. My parents have a brown Labradoodle.
Oh yeah.
Levi. Great pup.
Nice.
Great pup. Doesn't do anything. Just lays there. He wants to cuddle you.
There he is there.
Oh, Rip.
Looks like a Rip, eh?
Oh, what a Rip.
Yeah.
What a great name. Oh, the dots.
Yeah, cool, eh?
How old is he?
He'd be like 11 weeks now, 10 weeks.
Oh, what a cute puppy.
Yeah.
What up, Rip?
Yeah.
I feel like Denver's a good climate for a dog like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Won't be too hot.
Not too
It'll
hot.
be good.
Yeah.
It'll be good to go.
He'll look good in the mountains, eh?
100%.
Oh, yeah.
So when do you say you head out there?
It's be like the second week of November. First week's
Yeah,
training camp, and then I'm going to drive out there and have my truck.
Wow.
Yeah,
Smart play, though.
Long trip. Yeah, I have my truck, and it's just then I can, then we can go do more stuff during the week. There's a couple places, Boulder, a couple other, small little village places I want to check out. So, need the truck.
Being in a place like that, like I lived in Vancouver for a couple years, didn't have a car. Worst decision ever. I had a car in Halifax, sold it here, flew to Vancouver, and it was like I should have just drove to Vancouver and had the car. Because you got Whistler right there, you got wine country a couple hours away. There's so much shit to do outside of Vancouver. I feel like Denver's that same. You got a lot of skiing, you got a lot of mountains, you got a lot of scenery, you got a lot of hunting, a lot of stuff to do like around that area.
Right.
Car's big.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna see. I'm wondering. I don't know what the exact rules are, but I want to do some sort of hunting while I'm out there.
Yeah.
I hunt and fish a lot at home, so and the hunt. Like I'm at the airport, and I'm seeing 20, 30 guys walking in with gun cases, right? Like they're going hunting. So up in the mountains, they got full camo on. So I know the hunting's good out there. Watch all kinds of shows where they hunt up in the mountains there. So that's something that'd be cool. Spare time out there, but. Have to wait and see.
You grew up next to the water, you said, eh?
Mm-hmm.
So you that's like here.
Yeah, we spend lots of time on the water. We got buddies with boats and jet skis and stuff, but even just hanging out and spend a lot of our long weekends on the water. So
the older I get, the further away I want to be from the city.
Yeah.
The way I see it is like I'm in the city to work.
Yeah.
And as soon as the weekend hits, my family has a cottage probably like an hour and a half from here.
Yep.
Just on a lake, just try to put the phone away.
Yeah.
Sit there. Just don't do anything.
That's right.
It's the best.
Have a couple cold ones.
Oh, more than a couple.
Yeah, that's
but
right.
It's just it's unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
And I find it helps with my productivity. Like if
Yeah,
I
just
don't get
able
it,
to push everything aside and just refocus, get back to it the next day, right?
100%.
Yeah.
If I'm here too much, I get too wound up. I don't focus on the work. I just do it just to do it and don't put actual like effort. You know what I mean? Like
right, you're here. It's like, well, I'm here. I might as well just do it. But you're doing it, and there's not much purpose to it. You're just doing it because
yeah.
Yeah.
But when you're away and you're relaxed and you come back, you're like, okay, refresh, good to go. Let's work
now
for
you're
like
dialed in.
100%.
Yeah.
It's the best feeling ever. When you said you were 3 or 4 and you started the game of lacrosse, how long did it take you to figure out that you wanted to play in the NLL?
It was so early that I don't remember. Like I don't remember. You think you'd have one like experience as a kid where you're like, okay, this is okay. I really want to do this now. Where it was so young for me, I was like, I don't remember a time that wasn't the one thing I wanted to do.
Wow.
Yeah, like I look back and my mom, she saved all my stuff from school. Like if there was even a journal from school and junior kindergarten, she had it saved. Like she's a daycare teacher, so she's one of those, she just keeps that kid stuff because she realizes, how much, it's nice to look back on later. And I would go through like journals, junior kindergarten. It's just like, what do you want to be? And it was like Santa Claus, a fireman, or the NLL. Like just like a little kid, right? That's the 3 things I wanted to be. It's just like it was always something that I had in mind, right? Even when I was a kid and I'm talking about this crazy stuff like being Santa Claus, right? It's like there's NLL right there right beside it. So you know what I mean?
That's incredible, man. To have that dream at that young of an age is crazy. That's nuts.
I know.
It's a rare thing. Like a lot of guys, a lot of girls don't figure it out till like mid-20s. Like to have a goal at that young of an age, man, it's a blessing in disguise. To have direction. You said you're up till like 5 a.m. playing lacrosse on that trampoline.
Just obsessed.
Like, dude, like I don't know anyone that young like doing that. That's crazy. That's insane. The game must have had such a hold on you at a young age, man.
Yeah.
I got to talk to your uncles.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah, just something. I don't know. Something about it. It was just like
it's in your DNA almost.
Yeah,
like at that young of an age, there's no. What else would it be?
Yeah. And it was It was just like there was just nothing else that I would even compare. Like there wasn't like, oh, I want to do this and this. It was just that's all it was. There was all the energy right there.
Yeah.
So
first NLL game.
Oh, I won't forget it. That's for sure.
Give me the rundown.
Man, I thought I was going to break my hand when I first got out there. I was so excited.
Where was it?
Okay, so
what'd you have for breakfast? You go back.
Okay, so I don't even know what I had for breakfast. I remember we were like, I was one of the goalies on our team. That's who I was staying with. He was a beauty. He's like a veteran in the league. Great guy. Tyler Carlson's his name.
What's up, Tyler?
Yeah, what up? So I was roomed with him, and I'm kind of like pacing back and forth in the room, and this guy, he's been around the league for a while, so he's like, I'm having my nap, right? Like I'm laying down, and I think I was kind of like almost stressing him out just by like me being like so like kind of antsy. And then I asked him, I'm like what do I got to expect, man? What do I do? Like he's just like, oh man, just go be yourself and just like play it off, super cool, right? And I was like, all right, so I calmed me down a bit. I remember, going to the game, the nerves were flying. I was so excited to be there. And then I get in the tunnel before I go out.
Are you in Denver or are you on the road?
In Denver,
okay.
Home game. Like they got the bikes, like they always bring out like big choppers and they just light the place up. They smoke everywhere and everything, right? Like they do a great show to start the game. So, yeah, I'm like super pumped running out. I'm the last guy to get called, number 91, right? Last guy. So everybody's getting called. I'm just like bouncing around in the tunnel, right? Just like so pumped. I finally run out, give all the guys handshakes. I'm so excited. I like run by everybody, like giving them high fives. I get to the glass and I just punch the glass, like just so fired up, right? Punch the glass. I'm like, oh, no way. Like I just like, for some reason I was like, I hit that so hard. Like there's got to be something wrong.
Oh.
I'm standing there for all of O Canada. I'm like, this thing is throbbing. My hand is just throbbing. Like I want to go back and see if there's like film of like the whole intro because I like go up and just rock the glass. I'm surprised I didn't break the glass. And I'm sitting there in O Canada. I'm like, no way. Like my hand hurts so bad right now. I get to the bench. I'm like, the boys are flying around smelling salts. I'm like, yeah, throw those my way. Like, I gotta find it here. I might be going out for a shift. And, yeah, my hand stayed numb for like 2 shifts. Finally just like went away and it was just all adrenaline, right? And I just started playing like, but I was like worried. Like, imagine I go and break my hand off the glass and my first game, it's just like, yeah, you're not playing. Imagine that. Holy smokes.
That would have been hilarious.
It would have been
bittersweet. But it would have been funny as fuck.
It would have been the funniest story ever, but I would have went home and just like hid under the sheets for a week. I would have not have been able to live that one down. But
dude, who'd you play against?
I played against the San Diego Seals. So I was playing like one of my best buddies, Austin Stats. He's a part of Northern Torch too.
Okay.
Yeah, we brought him on, but he's like one of my best friends, college roommate. Like, yeah, that guy's my dog, right? He'll always be one of my best buddies. But I was playing him, and so it was nice to get a win. And I had a couple goals. So
you had a couple goals?
Yeah, I had 2 goals and an assist my first game.
You go and punch the glass after your first goal. Like, fuck yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, big Sally jump off the glass. But it's funny.
That's the chimney again. Sorry about that, fellas. Listeners.
Fellas are working hard out there.
Oh, yeah.
But so funny story about the first game. I had a buddy from college, and he had heard that I was gonna be playing, and I was talking to him, and he goes, if you score, like, what's your salary gonna be? I was like, I have no idea, man. And he's like, so he tells me, he's like, yeah, put one hand up in the air and jump off the glass. Like, put your hand up like this and then up off the glass. This guy sent me this in a text. Like, I probably still got it. He says this. Sure enough, I get a pass. And I'm right in front of the net, one fake, score, hand goes up, I jump off the glass.
Woo!
Like, it was just like how did this guy know that this was going to, I don't know if I've ever done that, fucking Sally. And he just said that, and I was just like, we were just like joking around, and then ended up being that. Well, this guy's blowing me up after the game. I fucking told you, man, like all this shit, right? He's calling me, he's like, no way, I called to Sally and everything, right? Like, so it was just like, a funny moment there of him just calling it and me actually scoring in my first game, and then, doing that exact thing that he said, right?
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was funny. He was another college roommate of mine, Dorian Fassler, his name, but yeah, he's a beauty too, American guy.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so it was funny that he guessed that one. Yeah,
that's sick.
Yeah,
that's a great first experience.
Yeah,
a little trouble to start, little hand could be broken, and a couple goals.
It was a roller coaster.
You're good. That's how you want it to be.
Oh yeah,
that's
one
awesome.
I'll never forget for sure.
How much time are we at, Mark?
26 minutes.
How long?
26.
Man, that banging's gonna suck. Whatever, we'll figure it out after. What time do you got to be out of here? 12:30.
We got the camp at 1:30. I don't have to be there probably half hour early maybe.
You've played on turf and you've played on cement.
Yep.
What do you prefer more?
I prefer the turf.
Really?
Turf feels better to fall on, but the turf burn on the knees, it sucks. So yeah, I don't know. I like both. Like growing up, I only ever played on the cement. Like at home, that's all we had. There's no turf.
Yeah.
The ball bounces a little bit different on the turf. I find it deadens it a bit, which actually can help lots of times. I love throwing bounce shots. That's like, I love throwing far foot bounce shots. So that's one thing that works with the turf is it deadens it, gets it underneath the glove. Sometimes you're playing on the concrete and it'll bounce a little too much, but for the most part, I don't mind. Like I don't go into a game and I'm like, oh yeah, turf tonight. Like yeah, it doesn't matter to me.
No. You take
So,
draws?
No, never have. Well, the guy on our team, he was one of the other, like in minor, he was one of the other really good players.
Yeah.
He was lights out on draws, so I just stayed away from it.
What's your advice for an offensive? I don't even know what to call him, like an offensive draw guy, but he's not taking the draw. Just the guy on going to get the ball. What's your, advice for lining up against the D? Obviously, you want to get your leg in front of the guy, but what's your body position like, and like what's your mindset like? I gotta get that fucking ball. Like, you got any advice for? I always loved that part of the game. Just this little, it's like a dog pile. It's like,
Yeah. It is. It's one of those things that like there's not even. I don't even know if there's a technique. The ball rarely goes into the same spot off a draw. You know what I mean? Like
unless you got a real.
Oh yeah, you got a
guy.
good guy, and it's just like, okay, he's putting it to a spot. But for giving advice for young kids, it's like both kids, they're just pulling back, and whatever way it goes, and it's so hard to predict. But I was on ball team like as a young kid, but it was always just like run in, slash a guy's stick, try to pick up the ball. Right? We didn't have any like. Now there's like teams will just know, okay, our draw guy is going to put the ball here. Yeah. When he puts it here, we're going to have this guy there, and we're going to have a guy breaking up the other side. Like, that's just, stuff that just players know from playing with each other. But, yeah, as a kid, it's just, go battle.
But, like, in the NLL, though, there's no, don't get me, I've had practices for lacrosse, but out of every practice I've ever had, there was never, like, a set draw thing. And I always wondered in the NLL or just at the higher leagues, it's like, off the draw, do those guys have, like, a set play, or is it just go get the fucking ball?
I think it's just get it, and then it's read and react, right? If the ball goes here and this guy gets it, what are these other four guys doing, right? So it's all read and react, and at that level, I don't even think like guys wouldn't even really think about that. It would just be something they go and do, right? Yeah. Oh, that guy got the ball. I'm not thinking, oh, I got to get the space over here. It's just you're just going there. You know what I mean? I think a lot of stuff is just read and react, and it's stuff that you don't even necessarily think about doing. You just go and do from pure instinct.
What's one thing that you've worked on this summer to try to get better?
One thing I've tried to get better at is studying the game. Just not being able to play as much as we have been. I just took the time to just study film. One thing I did is I've always sort of watched, okay, I'm going to watch my games and see how I can improve my game. But I think a big thing for me now is go and watch players that have a similar playing style as you, and go look at the things that they do really well while playing, similar to you, and try to implement some of those things into your game, right? You can watch your own game, and if you can watch your own game, watch that film, and if you're not changing or doing anything new, it's hard to learn from that your own film. You know what I mean? Or if I want to go and improve my game and start doing stuff that I'm not doing now, I got to go watch other players, right? So I've been watching other players around the league that I think play sort of similar to me, and been trying to steal some of their stuff. So
that's cool. Film's so good.
Yeah.
Film's unreal. You all right? Do you want a tissue?
Yeah, please.
Just Mark, you grab him one? Oh. Fuck, it could be the dust down here.
I think it might be. This eye has just been getting pelted.
Damn it.
But, no, it's not bad, though. It's not bad.
Sure, you're watering.
Yeah, it's just this one eye. I don't know
just
why. Keep
the box right there, so just in case he wants another one.
Yeah, no, that's good. These chimney guys, man.
We didn't even, this was supposed to happen on Monday and Tuesday, but then I'm pretty sure they canceled. They could be right there, so I don't want to talk shit.
Yeah,
that's the name of the game.
That's the contractor and that business. Something pops up, or something goes wrong, and you're at the last job site for 2 more days.
Well, do you ever have any other jobs other than lacrosse player?
Yeah, so I right now at home I do like patio landscaping.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, so I do that with guy's name's Brandon Shipley. Great boss, but yeah, so I do that. He gives me all kinds of time off for lacrosse. So, but I've had a few different jobs. I was building houses for Burner Contracting for a while. Another great company at Owen Sound. Yeah, I had a couple different jobs. Worked for my uncle's flooring company for a bit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just bouncing around. I'm hoping, next summer we can go on a big tour with Northern Torch, and that kind of be my main focus of my job.
That'd be sick.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I'm telling you, around here, like the amount of kids Pacer was telling me you guys got this year, I was blown away.
Yeah, I think we got over 75 kids.
Blown away.
Yeah, which is like, I guess, 75 is unbelievable really anywhere, but I guess here it's huge, right? And I think with the response that we're getting from a lot of parents and a lot of kids, we want to be up near over 125 next year, right? That's the goal. Continue to grow, bring more pro coaches. Like if we can get to that many kids, next time we'll bring my, it'll be myself, Pacer, and then 2 or 3 other pros, right? So maybe even bring a goalie out. We talked about doing goalie camps, so the goalie will pay, like if the camp's $100, goalie will pay $150. He'll get a whole extra day with a NLL goalie as a goalie camp. So that's something that we talked about. We think we want to do next year. So
that would be beneficial for sure. Yeah, just like growing up here, man, there's no camps.
Yeah.
Just nothing. And YouTube wasn't even a thing. So I know kids now, if there's no, they just go to YouTube, and like you just said, you watch what other guys are doing, and then you implement it. But even back then, there's nothing like that.
Yeah.
It was such a figure it out on your own. If you score, you score. If you don't, you don't. And like I said, those tournaments we used to go to when we were young, just such eye openers from those kids from Ontario, BC.
Yeah.
Eye opener.
Yeah. Yeah. No kidding. Like even playing in that Team Ontario, that tournament, like you just see, you think, it doesn't make any sense why over here can't be like there, right?
Yeah,
there's not as many kids, but if we start kids playing at the same age, all it comes down to is coaching. If you have coaching here, you start with kids at a young age, there's no reason why they can't get to that, that level of these kids in Ontario playing junior A, right? So that's our goal. We're going to come back here every year, if not, 2-3 times a year, depending on the schedule, and we're going to really see if we can take Nova Scotia lacrosse to another level.
You ever play in the Prague tournament?
No, I haven't. I've heard unbelievable things about that tournament. Tons of buddies that play in it, but I've never played in it. I heard it's a fun time.
It's unbelievable. I played there only 1 year, but one of the most fun I've had as an adult in my adult life. That week. You're not spending a lot of money.
Yeah.
You're playing lacrosse. You're in a beautiful, beautiful city. There's thousands. There's probably 1,000 people watching you. There's a replay score. You're on turf. The food is great. The food's cheap. The beer's great. The beer's cheap.
Yeah.
And you're in Europe, so as soon as the tournament's done, you can go somewhere else.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just unbelievable. Yeah. It's the coolest tournament. I'd recommend going at some point.
Oh, yeah. I plan on it. Yeah. All those things, it doesn't seem like it's going to get much better than that, eh? That's unbelievable.
I'll tell you, so that tournament, I've never seen myself play lacrosse until that tournament. Because live streaming wasn't really a thing.
That's weird. That's weird.
No one really filmed lacrosse around here. Wow. So the first time I ever saw myself play lacrosse was at that tournament. And I remember I scored a goal, and I was looking at the big screen. I was like, that's me. And
that's
to
crazy.
this day,
you see a replay of your own goal, you're like, I've never seen myself even play before.
It was
weird. Just pictures, but
it was weird.
Yeah, that's different. I've never even thought of that, right? Because I said to Pacer, I was like, it was just the other night there. I think there was a junior B game on. I'm like, we're done camp. I'm like, could we throw that game on? Can we watch it? And
yeah.
Like, I don't even know where you could watch that, man. I don't think they got any film there. Nothing. You can't. We're at home. It's usually you can find the game somewhere, right? So
yeah, I love it. It's great the technology and stuff. That's what we're big into. We do a lot of live streaming for hockey. We're trying to get into lacrosse, but it's a little difficult than we thought. But we love the live stream and stuff. It's sick.
Yeah,
it's fun for us.
That's cool. Do you commentate too?
Yeah, we do commentate.
Yeah.
That guy does our commentary. We got a bunch of other young guys that want to get into the sports media business, but
gotcha.
TSN or Sportsnet isn't here, so there's only a couple companies, and one of the companies is us. So we have a lot of young guys that like to commentate for us.
Nice.
Do baseball, hockey, and they were trying to get into lacrosse.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah,
that's cool. Yeah, so what is the sports broadcasting? What's the big one out here? What's your TSN?
Eastlink.
Okay, yeah, I think I seen a sign there the other day. for Eastlink. I don't know if it was. I don't think it was at the soccer game. I think it was somewhere else.
They're like community television. So like they do a really good broadcast, but on TV. So we're trying to do the same thing, but just for the internet.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
So
like,
that's what they have for the junior Bs in my hometown. It's like it's on Rogers TV.
Yeah,
And
same
it's just
thing.
local channel.
Same
Yeah.
thing. But yeah, that's like some of the stuff we're working towards.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Any plans for the rest of the summer?
We got a couple more camps to do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it seems like, there's a couple weekends then the summer that we're doing the camps, and then just gearing up, getting myself ready for Colorado. I know me and that Mike guy, another guy, Ethan Woods, who's a goalie from Owen Soundage Pro, Jordan Cascanet, a guy that's going back to school. These guys, we're going to try to get out and rent some floor time and put in some work just to get ready for our season. So that's kind of the next main focus.
Sick, man. Well, dude, I appreciate you coming out. Whenever I'm in Denver, I'm gonna hit you up.
Yeah.
Hopefully you got a pull-out coach, and we'll be all right.
Yeah. No.
I'm joking.
Yeah. No. We'll get you out to a game though, and then we'll go out after and experience the city. It'll be sweet.
Dude, I'll be pumped. Dude,
Yeah.
well, once again,
Hopefully,
thank you very much. What?
Hopefully you're doing some interviews with some Av guys.
Oh man, we know a bunch.
Get me out to the bar with some Av guys. Get me in.
Dude.
No, it's
all you
just
gotta
funny.
do is DM. Just be like, yeah, I'm a pro athlete too. Let me
This
come with
is
you.
funny you say that. I one more thing before we go here. There's a couple times where I'd just be loaded with my buddies, and we'd be talking about lacrosse and hockey and stuff, and I'd just send Kadri a DM on Instagram. I'm like, hey man, I play for Colorado. Like I wear 91, right? I'm like, let's do a jersey swap. I think I've sent like 3 of them, just no reply. But yeah, like we're both 91. Let's jersey swap. If you ever seen, he's probably like, man, I don't want your Colorado Mammoth jersey, man. But, yeah.
Kadri, if you're listening, come on, DM
Kadri,
the guy
come
back.
on, man, DM me back.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll get out there. We'll make it happen. I'm serious though. We do want to get out this year. Like it's, I'm pretty sure flights are still somewhat cheap. Not that I'm a cheap guy, but I'd like to save some money. But we're still looking at of getting out there. Like our plan's probably like February.
Yeah,
but we'll see.
nice.
All right, man.
Awesome.
Dude, enjoy the rest of your time in Halifax, and I'm sure you'll be back here next year. And if not, I'll do my best to come see you up in Denver.
Awesome. That's
Dude.
awesome. I appreciate having me on, man. You're
Dude.
doing great things.
Appreciate that.
Yep.
Everyone listening, thank you very much for tuning in. Enjoy your week. It's Wednesday, hump day, half day through the week. Work hard, have fun, play lacrosse, do what you got to do. We are out. Peace. We hope that you guys enjoyed that episode. I know we did. Remember, head on over to the description tab at the bottom. Click the CryptoVantage link. Fill out the white paper at the bottom of the page. Receive a free information package from CryptoVantage and start getting educated on the cryptocurrency world. Once again, thank you very much for tuning in to the High Button Podcast. We hope you enjoyed. Enjoy the rest of your day.